I am live with you. I've had some technical difficulties already today. I don't know what is wrong with my phone that it will not let me access StreamYard today. So we are going with my computer because that's what I have. My apologies. I hope that you can see everything clearly. I will move things around as much as I can to make sure that this happens. I'm technically challenged, so yeah, this is just kind of the way things are. Literally, I've been on tech support with them for I think the past 2.5, 3 hours because I wanted to have everything done and together so that we could all be here and playing together in our kitchens, in your kitchen. Um, but we're here and let's get going. Is it 5 o'clock? We have 1 more minute. Any comments you would like to make? I can see them here so I can answer you as well. And I'm going to move my mouse and my mouse pad out of the way now. I do not have a fancy kitchen, as you can see. I'm really excited to have you here. Again, as the Food Whisperer, I am here to bring you back into your kitchen and to bring joy into your cooking. I have my mom and dad's, like, I don't know how old, 40, 50, has to be more than 50 years old because I'm 56, saute pan that I'm using today. If you have an old saute pan, that's okay. That's what I'm here to tell you, is that we're just here to make a great meal and to have fun doing it. I don't know that I'm going to be following my recipe. I am probably going to be changing my recipe as I'm doing it today, at least the order in which we're going to be preparing the food. But no, we are going to be making a Greek chicken with our Primal Kitchen Greek dressing and marinade today. Shout out to Primal Kitchen. Thank you so much for partnering with me and my show, Healthy Meals in Minutes. We also have our Primal Kitchen organic avocado oil. And the reason why I'm going with the avocado oil, yes, I know that olive oil is great and this oil is great and that oil is great. If you forget how high your saute pan is on, or you leave it on too high and you have oil in there, avocado oil has a super high smoke point. It's great for high heat cooking. So high heat cooking meaning when you're sauteing, because by definition, when you saute, it is it's high heat fast. So it's like a stir fry-ish kind of, if you want to talk about that. But yeah, so that's why avocado oil is so great, is because you can get a really high heat going on it, and you're not going to be scorching it the way you can with olive oil. Okay, I realized in my cooking shows now that my favorite word to go to is right when I'm giving you some sort of teaching instruction. So this is my first practice run on not using the word right with every instruction cooking tip that I give you. Let's see how it goes. So our recipe today, and it is in my stories and I've put it into posts. We are making a 1-pan Greek chicken. And it is a 1-pan wonder. Maybe it's a 2-pan wonder if you have a smaller saute pan, but we're going to have a pound of either chicken tenders or boneless, skinless chicken breasts. We're going to use 1/3 cup of our Primal Kitchen Greek dressing and marinade. We have 1 pint of baked tomatoes, which are washed and put back in here. I just wanted to make it easier to use. 1 1/3 pounds of zucchini, because I figured out that to get I don't know if it's a 1 cup cooked serving of zucchini, you need 1 1/3 cups for 4 servings. I put 1/3 pound of shallots or shallots, and guess what? I could not get shallots today, and so I'm just using a tiny red onion. I had learned that it's much easier to use a shallot or a shallot when it comes to like small servings, so for 2 people or for 1 people. So that is where my red onion's coming into play, and we have some oregano, and we have our salt, and we have our black pepper. And I got some crushed red peppers too, in case you decide you want to go on the spicy side. Who knows? We'll find out what happens. So let me get my chicken out of the refrigerator. And did you know, fun fact, did you know that you are supposed to bring your vegetables to room temperature before you cook them? That is called tempering your vegetables. Believe it or not, it is an actual culinary thing. So I have tempered my veg, my zucchini and my tomatoes and onions usually keep out. Tomatoes you kind of keep out also. Stop myself from saying right. And so what we're going to do is first we're going to cut our chicken and we're going to marinate that for about 10 minutes, which means that gives us all the time we need to prep all of our vegetables, okay? We do need to have a second cutting board because once we cut the chicken on our cutting board here, we don't want to use that again. So we either clean as we go and we wash this and dry it and use it again, or we just have a second one handy and we will be washing and cleaning as we go anyhow, because that is what makes life so much easier when you're cooking with the Food Whisperer. And once you get into that habit, you will be doing that as well. So we're going to cut up our chicken. In the recipe itself, it says that you are going to put it into a stainless steel or a glass bowl. The reason for that is that way it is a non-reactive bowl. No toxins getting leached with the vinegars and the acids, okay? That is the whole concept behind it. That being said, I also know that it makes things super simple. So if instead you didn't have your chicken in container here, if you had your chicken wrapped up, if you got it from a butcher or a meat counter, then you could even just use your marinade and pour it on your cut up meat that's in the paper that you have and let it sit that way, and you would have less cleanup. Yes, you can also use a Ziploc bag and there's less cleanup that way as well. I am giving you the cleanest, healthiest way to do it, and then I'm giving you the practical way to do it, and that's your choice, because we all have our journeys and there are ways that we need to be doing things, and we take those steps as we get to them, right? Okay, so 5:05. Let's see if we're going to get this done in less than 30 minutes. I'm confident that we will. One other thing we need is a lid for our pan. There we go. So, all right, so we have our chicken. Now I have boneless, skinless chicken breasts here that I am using. I'm going to put them on my cutting board. And I think I missed my trash can there. So I'm going to cut this up into, I think, 12 equal pieces now. And maybe it'll be 16, I don't know. So these are kind of thick chicken breasts. And then you might have little trimmy pieces that you want to get off if you see that gristle or whatnot, which I am seeing a little bit right there. So I'm going to trim that out as well, like so. Now this is not the way you do it. You really want to have like a paring knife or a fillet knife to trim these little chunky pieces off. We're going to go for 12 pieces. Let's see, maybe 16. So we're going to take my bigger piece of chicken breast here, and we're going to go, so we're just going into strips. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, so I'm definitely going to get 4 out of this. Maybe we'll get 6. I'm going to have a couple tiny pieces to make it 8 because, well, maybe you have some people that are hungry and some that aren't, but you want at least 12 so that way you can divide it into 4 servings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I got it. Look at me. I'm getting all fancy. 7, 8. Yay. So we have that. So we are going to take our stainless steel bowl. We're going to put this in the sink and wash it in just a moment. And we're going to put our chicken in there into our bowl, right? Oh, I said right. Here's once. place that. I'm washing my hands right now. You'd want to be washing your hands also because you just touched raw meat. And we need to wash our knife, correct? Because we're going to be using that. I think you can hear I'm washing my cutting board right now. And I'm cleaning my knife, both the handle and the blade, and never handle a knife like this, okay? You're just asking for an accident to happen when that happens. All right, so we're putting 1 1/3 cup. We're gonna shake up our Primal Kitchen Greek dressing, and we're gonna put 1/3 cup in here, like so. I drizzled it in. I'm gonna mix it up. And I'm going to wash my hands again. You're going to wash your hands again, since we don't want to have chicken hands while we're touching the rest of our veggies. And we'll say happy marinating. We'll put that over to the side right there. Wash your hands with soap and water. Make sure they're nice and clean. Get under your fingernails if you have fingernails. Dry your hands with a towel that is not the one you're cooking with, which is what I think I just did earlier. So paper towel or cloth towel, your choice. So this is marinating. Now we have our zucchini. If you have watched any of my shows in Healthy Meals in Minutes on Red House TV, I talk about how zucchinis aren't always the straightest of vegetables. So if you cut them in half lengthwise to where their shape is, then you can fit them together on your cutting board in little puzzle pieces, and you're able to line them up better. So that is what I am doing right now. I'm cutting my zucchini wherever the curves are. That's the way I'm cutting them lengthwise. Just makes it easier to fit them together for cutting purposes. This is my cutting tutorial for today. I hope you guys have had a good day today. I hope that, you see the way this is curved here? That's why we're going to cut this way. But yeah, I hope this empowers you to have some healthy meals in minutes. See? We have them all lined up together. And again, as I've said in the past, if this is not comfortable for you cutting, only do one at a time. Capiche? So I am doing 3 at a time simply because I'm comfortable with it. However, that doesn't mean I want you doing that if you don't like knives that much. And we're going for about, that's kind of big, isn't it? That looks more like an inch cut that we're doing today. And we're going to go on here, and we're going to do these guys. So in the recipe itself, I do say that we're adding these last, and that's to keep the vegetables al dente. If you want to cook them softer, then we're going to be adding them first. And I think I'm going to put, I think we're going to go in different order. I think I'm going to go onion, chicken. And then when the chicken is about halfway cooked, when I flip it over is when I'm going to put in the zucchini and the tomatoes. I really want the tomatoes to be seared. I really like them only blistered. Maybe we'll do those after we cook everything instead. But I don't like them mushy. I don't know if you like them mushy or not. So I'm going to have to decide on that. Since this cutting board is full, you have 2 choices. You can either A, put these in a bowl, which you're then going to have to wash, or you can B, pull out another cutting board, which you're then going to have to wash. Your choice, your choice. I'm taking out another cutting board. We're going to cut up this onion. So we're going to be cutting both ends off today. I know it's one of those cardinal rules that you're not supposed to. However, this is what I'm going to do. So we're going to cut off both the root end and the tip end here. Like so. And then I'm going to peel, and you can see here, yeah, we're going to be taking off probably a layer or two of the onion, and that happens with the shallot as well. It's one of those things. And I know some people are probably just getting home at this time, but I really like the whole live at 5, so you'll probably be catching this afterwards. We're going to cut this onion in half this way. Now you have 2 ways to slice your onion once we get to this point. And you do get different flavors out of it. You could either do moon slices, or we can do slices this way. And I don't know what it's called right now. My brain is failing me, but we're going to thin slice our onions this way today. Okay. So we're just going to hold on to it. I'm sorry, but I cannot. Maybe I can. Maybe I can show you. I mean, I can show you these guys here, right? So that's what we're looking at doing. And we're going to thin slice this guy. You see what I'm doing here? Okay. So we're going to be adding each vegetable at different times during this cooking process. We're at 5:15, so what, we have 2 minutes left here. I think we can play around with this. Wow, this zucchini I just cut super huge. So I'm going to cut this guy in half while we're talking. We're going to start our saute pan on medium-high heat just to get that nice and hot. Technically, you are supposed to cook your meat only on medium heat. When they talk about meat being carcinogenic, it is because of the heat temperature that you are cooking it at. So it should only be on medium heat at any time to avoid all the, I forgot the names of them right now, but they're the AGEs and there's the PACs, all these fun little things that create the carcinogenic properties in them. So again, my mind is failing me, that's okay. So what we're doing now is we need to wait. If you have gas heat, God bless you for having it, and don't have to wait as long for that heat to come up. On an electric stove and oven, it takes a minute or 2 in order to get that, which kind of gives us those extra minutes that we need for cooking our chicken. And we look for the heat to be warm to our hovering hand. You notice that I'm not touching the pan, and I'm not even like level with the pan. I'm just going down a little bit lower to feel that heat. And you know that it's a medium heat when you can count to 3 and you feel the heat. So we're not quite there yet, but we will be. Yeah. With that going on, what can we do different if you don't like a vegetable? Well, we could use spinach instead of zucchini. Do you have to have tomatoes? No, you do not have to have tomatoes. It's just one of those Greeky kind of things that's in there, kind of like it's also an Italian kind of thing to have that in there. Onions are pretty traditional when it comes to Greek foods. I cannot say if they're supposed to be red or white or sweet. I'm sorry, I do not have that much knowledge when it comes to that. Oregano is a big flavor with Greek foods, so is dill and mint. I saw this recipe for a traditional Greek zucchini bread this morning that had the zucchini and it had fresh parsley, probably half a bunch of fresh parsley in it, 1 full bunch of dill, and probably 2 or 3 huge sprigs of mint that all get chopped up and put into it, which was super yummy. So I think I'm going to try to make that sometime. All right, so we got some heat going on here. I don't know if you can see it or not. And I'm going to drizzle my Primal Kitchen avocado oil in there. And I don't know if you can see the shimmer or not. Then you really know that your pan is hot. And what I really love to do when I'm handling chicken is use tongs to place my meat in my pan. Listen to that go. So in we go. Move this over here. I'm going to throw my onions in now. Like I said, this is reversed from the recipe itself, where we were going to start with the tomatoes, and that was because I wanted to blister my tomatoes. But I want my onions to get a little bit more than shiny. I want them to get a little bit soft. I am going to add a little sprinkle of salt at this time. I am using, whoa, I love when this happens. I am using Himalayan pink salt. Himalayan pink salt and Celtic gray salt are the best ones to use. And we're going to flip our chicken over once it's cooked halfway. We're adding our zucchini. A little bit more salt. A little dash of oregano. Spoon. We're going to cover this. And we're going to let this cook for a couple minutes. I'm going to put the timer on for 3 minutes. I'm going to talk to you here. So if you noticed, I had, you probably saw me moving chicken around. Why was I moving chicken around? Well, you probably noticed, if you're cooking along with me, that maybe some pieces were cooked halfway through and some weren't yet. And that probably had to do with the thickness of it, or maybe the hot spots on your burner or your pan. And so what I did was, those that were still a little bit underdone, I put towards the center of my pan to cook evenly with those that had already cooked halfway through. So if that's what's happening with your pan, now you know what to do about that. The one thing I did leave out, I neglected, my bad. The one thing I did do was, you want to make sure that your thicker pieces of meat are more towards the center or the hotter part of your pan, and you can put those thinner pieces on the outside of your pan, and that will accommodate the cooking evenly happening. Okay? So that's that fun fact right there. I think we're going to pull a cheat right now. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to take a second saute pan. I'm going to put this on my other burner here on your other, this is just like your regular size, 10-inch saute pan. I'm going to crank this up on high, and we're going to blister our tomatoes while we are waiting for our, what's it called? Chicken to cook. I'm going to keep this cutting board. I'm going to wash this other guy here while we're waiting for our pan to heat up. It will only take a minute or so. So we will wash. We're going to wash our knife. We're washing our cutting board. I'm washing my chicken bowl. One thing my kitchen lacks is a dishwasher, believe it or not. Dishwashers are me and my husband. And so, yeah, you could throw everything in your dishwasher at this point if you wanted to. In my case, I'm just washing it and getting it done. And the benefits of washing everything and just having it dry is that's one less step that you have to take later. So we got 14 seconds left on our timer, so I'm going to turn that off and we're going to look at our chicken and see how well our zucchini is cooked or cooking. And it's looking really good. You could add your tomatoes to this at this point. That being said, they're not going to get blistered, and I wanted to go for blistered tomatoes today. So you can see, like right now, your zucchini is al dente. If you want it just a little bit softer, we're going to let all that moisture from the zucchini be cooking off. We are checking to see if our other pan here is hot. Maybe we'll switch. Let's switch burners so I can show you about blistering while this is cooking over here. I'm letting it cook down. I really want to taste this right now. However, I will be patient and I will wait until we have the finished product. That is one of those things. So we're getting hot over here. I'm going to put my avocado oil in, and yeah, this should be smoking at this point, because again, like I said, we are blistering these tomatoes. So these are, you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see or not. I'm going to add these very gently, kind of ish, into my smoking hot pan. You hear that? I'm going to add a little bit of salt, and I'm going to add a little bit of oregano to these guys here. And this is literally going to take seconds. Blistered tomatoes. That's what I wanted to do with these guys. So maybe we have to do them separate. The first time I did it backwards, but this time, because I didn't like them soft. If you want your tomatoes softer, by all means, add them in the beginning when you are cooking your chicken. If you want to keep them a little bit on the firmer side, then let's do a separate saute pan with them. And I'm going to add a little bit more of Greek dressing just to get a little bit of juice here. So at this point, you can either put this over rice. If you want to use like the shirataki rice, you can use the shirataki rice or hearts of palm rice or rice cauliflower. You can even put this over pasta if you wanted to, or one of the other non-starchy carb noodles. And our meal is done. I am getting a fork here to try a piece of my chicken. I'm so excited. What if I'm going to burn my mouth? Oh my gosh. This is so perfectly seasoned that I think your taste buds are going to be happy as much as mine are. And we're at 5:26. This is all about healthy meals in minutes. I'm here to help you out with that. Thank you. Huge shout out to Primal Kitchen for playing with me and giving me their great Greek dressing and marinade with avocado oil. And I'm really wanting to eat this too. If you have any questions and comments, leave them for me. I'll answer them. And I look forward to seeing you again on another Cooking Live. Oh, as I flipped my zucchini out of the way. I look forward to seeing you on another Cooking Live, Healthy Meals in Minutes. You guys take care. I'm the Food Whisperer. Bye-bye.